Aloha, YouTube investors. How is everybody doing today? My name is David Yansen. Welcome to my channel. Today is November 23rd. It is Monday, 2020, and we are talking earnings. I have been going through my three main brokerage portfolios and have been going through my individual holdings and have been showing you their earnings report for their respective quarters. In this video, we are going to talk about Nvidia. I hold them in my Fidelity account, but before we get into that video, I would like to show you milestone for my Fidelity account. For the first time, my Fidelity brokerage account is over $5,500 and almost to $5,700. It ended the day up in the green over 1%. So that's a small milestone that I wanted to share with you guys, and it wasn't just that way for my Fidelity account. I also have a growth portfolio with Robinhood, so that portfolio for the first time finished the trading day over $3,100. So that's another miniature style milestone. There we go. Since I've opened this brokerage account with Robinhood last year in June, for the first time, I am up over 24% in gains as well too. Mainly because of NEO, and Uber has been trading very high as well too. I'm over 1,000% with NEO, and I have a video talking about that. If you want to see my other videos, I have playlists listed for you. You can click on all the individual brokerages, even the brokerages that I have that I signed up just for the free stocks. Webull, you can click on that one and see how that portfolio is doing. It's very small. It only has the free stock in there and one other holding, I think. I don't pay much attention to it, but somebody also did ask me to do a review of the public investing app. So there are 3 or 4 videos there as well too if you want to check that out. But also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up if you find it informative, and also feel free to share with your family and friends as well too. So mahalo and thank you to everybody who has already subscribed. But let's go right ahead and look at Nvidia and their earnings. First, I will show you what my position with Nvidia is. It's very, very small. I am a small-time investor. I've only been doing this about 15, 16 months. But I picked up Nvidia for its dividend growth potential. I only have not even a half a share, 0.20 shares. So I have a little over $100 invested with them. But the dividend growth potential for this is, it just has a long way to go. It could just, there's just no telling. And the capital gains that are coming with this because of all the moves that Nvidia is making for future growth with AI and autonomous vehicles and things like that. But as it stands right now, the yield is only 0.2%. So, but if you're under 30 or even, under 25, I guess, and you pick this company up, this yield, it just has a lot of room to grow. And the annualized dividend is only 64 cents. Again, lots of room to grow. So as it stands right now, you're only getting 16 cents or so per share every quarter, but in the next 5-10 years it could be that much more significant. And they have lots of room to pay this because their trailing 12-month payout ratio is not even 10.5%. I think I saw somewhere else, like on Seeking Alpha, that it's like 12%. So still ridiculously low. So that's why I picked them up. That's kind of why I like them, because of their potential later on in the future down the road. And I plan on holding very long term unless something crazy drastic happens. So, but as far as their revenue is concerned for their earnings for this quarter, this is actually third quarter for their fiscal year of 2021. So every company does different fiscal years. Some go with a regular calendar year. Some might be off by a month or two or whatever, as Nvidia is. So, but sales up 57% for them. They beat on both earnings and revenues. You can see right here, earnings up to $2.91 per share. That is adjusted. What was expected was $2.57 per share. Revenue also beat $4. I keep saying that. $4.73 billion versus the $4.41 billion that was expected. So they just kind of blew everything out of the water for this last quarter. Also, you can see here that the big quarter, based on the CNBC article, was driven by compute and networking segment. And it says here it was up 146% from the previous year, to almost $2 billion. That is a lot of money. That is, I mean, just from one quarter to the next, or I guess it's not one quarter to the next because it's year over year. So the CEO, who I've seen on television and interviews, is pretty sharp. I kind of like him. Jim Cramer on CNBC really likes him too. He always talks about Nvidia and how much he loves that CEO. So revenue in the gaming market was up 37% from last year to 2.27 billion, which the company called a record and attributed to sales of graphic cards to computer and console makers. So I believe the only main console that they contribute to now is Nintendo, for the Nintendo Switch, because the PS3 was the last one that they did for Sony, and I forget which Xbox console was the last one that they did, but it's probably the one that was released the same time the PlayStation 3 was released. So the PlayStation 4 and even the PlayStation 5 are not using Nvidia anymore. Nvidia, when I first read this, I thought it was odd, but they actually decided to move away from consoles because they saw PC gaming as the big thing. So, and then they even have some mobile. They also do small chips now with mobile gaming as well too, for your phones and tablets and stuff. And they are about to buy out a company for I think like $30 billion or so to help them in that area. But it is kind of said that there's like over 1.5 billion players in the gaming world, or I guess 1.5 billion of the players, 1.5 billion players are on PC. So there's 3 billion gamers worldwide, and half of them are more PC versus console. Now, of course, in the next 20 years, that could change. It could be more mobile, as far as phones and tablets are concerned. But as of right now, that's kind of where the number's set. So that's why Nvidia decided they didn't really care if AMD took over, consoles, just because they saw more profit in the PC side of gaming things. Also, another thing that I thought was interesting is they do have a partnership with Activision Blizzard, a company that I own in my Robinhood portfolio. And Activision Blizzard is known for the Call of Duty series, and Call of Duty just released a game this month, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And they also released a game, Cyberpunk 2077. I've never heard of Cyberpunk 2077. I have played some Call of Duty games in the past, and it's a very well known. It's probably one of the top 10 franchises as far as gaming is concerned, and Nvidia has a contract with them, and just basically with the graphics and stuff like that for that game. Also, with Epic and Fortnite, they have a deal going on with them as well too. So it seems like they've made the right moves as far as the gaming side is concerned, and their data center revenue is doing really well as well. So you can see last quarter here, it says Nvidia's data center line surpassed gaming revenue for the first time. Nvidia reported almost $2 billion in sales in the data center market. So data center is really kind of where the future is, in my opinion. But just because you need someplace to hold all this, data, cloud storage is what I was looking to say. So, and the AI side of it as well too. So Nvidia, look into the company. They've got, automobile, they've got all kinds of different areas that they deal with, what I'll show you here in just a second here. But I also wanted to point out to you that they picked up ARM from SoftBank for $40 billion. That's the company they picked up for developing power chips for mobile devices. So this other chart that I wanted to show you, that I like how they have this laid out on Alpha Street. They don't do it for every company, so I don't have it in all of my videos, but they did have it for Nvidia. It does have everything kind of broken down here. This isn't the best one that Alpha Street has put together. They have, in other videos that I've shown their charts, they have some better just layout of the information and giving you a good idea of forward guidance. But the same numbers, 4.73 billion. That's 57% growth in revenue. All these numbers up here up, well over 40%. Gaming industry up 37%. Data center, up over 100%. Revenue mix is broken down here, and gaming is the biggest, like I mentioned, along with the data center. Their forward outlook for quarter 4 of 2021, they are expecting almost $5 billion, $4.8 billion, give or take 2% here and there. And then some other highlights here really quick for you. Operating income, 1.4 billion, that is up 51%. Operating cash flow is down 22%, but still 1.28 billion. And free cash flow, a number that I look at here, down 48%, $806 million. And then cash and cash equivalents is $10.14 billion. That's a lot. And then they paid $99 million in dividends paid. So they have a lot of room to grow with their dividend. Their cash on hand is amazing. They've got tons of growth all over the place. My personal opinion, look into them and add them to your portfolio if it suits your investing strategy. So I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving here in the U.S. And if you're not in the U.S., have a happy, Merry Christmas and New Year. Mahalo and aloha, everybody.